What's poppin'? Well, it's really cool. Hope everybody's doing well. I'd like to thank Heavenly for the opportunity to be able to see you guys, and I hope all of you are doing well physically, mentally, and more than any other way, spiritually. All right, get yourself together. People don't know that I get a lot of conversation outside of my videos sometimes. You know, somebody might ask me something outside my video because they really don't want to be, I guess, put in a position to have to be favorable towards me, or maybe not so favorable towards me. And I appreciate that. You know, the people reach out to me outside of this. So it wasn't a phone call that I got last night, but I got a IM or DM, Red Oud by Montauk. And the young man says, let me figure it out. Now, it's in the phone. I can't remember it verbatim, but he said, in other words, he want to know why I don't want to be a Democrat anymore, and why I don't have a problem with Trump. And I haven't been a Democrat nor a Republican in like 10 years. I became an independent a long time ago. I voted Green Party, in fact. The second Obama election, I voted Green Party. I looked up some of the Green Party candidates, wasn't many, and I just voted for Green Party. I rather went Green Party than what was going on then, which was either, I don't know, who was it? I forgot who Obama was running against. Maybe it was Kerry or somebody, I don't know. So, let me explain to you how I feel about the situation. And I wrote it all down here so I don't forget anything. There's a movie, and I don't have a lot of time, but I should be okay. There's a movie out. There's two of my favorite movies, man, that people, especially people of color, need to look at, or so-called black people. One is Malcolm X. Definitely check out Malcolm X. Not because you need to be a Muslim or want to become a Muslim, but just check out the philosophies and the principles of some of that. And then there was Django. The main one was Django. We'll point that out. Hollywood, and of course my man, you know, that's what he do, man. Tarantino is just a real dude. You know, he think he a brother anyway. So, he got a way of making things straight, you know what I mean? And the one thing that came to my mind in the middle of that movie was why they put it there, because they figured people watching it, they probably will slip past them. Candy, who is my man Leonardo DiCaprio, said, the question is, why didn't one of them niggas get up there and cut my daddy's throat when he was shaving him? If it was me, I would have cut my daddy's throat from one side to the other and didn't think nothing about it. And that was the key to that movie and to why I feel the way I feel about people of color, mainly black folk, and slavery. Because at this particular point, black folk won't cut the throat of a Democrat to get themselves out of slavery. It just won't happen. Just like in the movie The Django. That's why they put that in there. They put that in there to wake you up. Some folks look at movies just to look at movies. You know what I mean? Maybe their favorite actor or whatever. That was, you got to listen to what they're saying to you. Hollywood, Satan weird. Satan will give you some clues. Luciferians will give you clues because they want. It's unfair how much control the Luciferians and the Satanists have over black people mostly. That's why we killing each other. We have sex. We have abortions, late-term abortions. Satan knows how much power he has over black folk. Whether you're in the church, and there's some people in the church that are Luciferians too. They did spying. He knows that. The boy's smart. Well, I ain't gonna call him no boy. That situation is smart. He knows how black folk think. He know he can put something by you and you'll just skip it. But the woke, I ain't gonna say woke, the 95% will pick that up as what was happening in that movie. When that came up, if I was a nigga, I would have cut my daddy's throat from side to side. Well, right now, it's the same thing. Black folks are still slaves to the Democrats, and they refuse to cut their freaking slave master's throat. They're gonna do it. It's just not gonna happen. They don't know no better. Obama said black folk don't know better for themselves. Because he wouldn't have probably voted for himself if he knew what he had to do and then what he was doing while he was in office, because he wasn't doing nothing for black folk. He ain't moving back to Chicago. He in Martha's Vineyard somewhere with a $4 million crib, chilling, him and his wife. And they're going to come showing up, talking about how much. Stop it. Just that alone should be enough to tell you. And as I said in the video yesterday to my friend who reached out to me and to others, misery enjoys company. The Democrats know how black people think. They know it. Satan knows. Luciferians know how black people think. That's why we keep ourselves in slavery. Well, you do, I don't. And that is the problem. Black folk would not cut a Democrat's throat to save their lives. There wouldn't have been much slavery. You have 400 niggas on a plantation, 5 slave masters, 7 with guns, and you gonna tell me somebody couldn't give up their life besides plowing and having heart attacks and killing themselves and getting beat and getting hung? If you were gonna get hung, you might as well took out one of the masses. If you were gonna get whipped to death, you might as well took out one of the masses. If you want to sit out there and have a heart attack out there plowing and picking cotton, you might as well took out one of the masses. No. Black folk don't think like that. And that's why you're still slaves. And that's why you're still looking to vote for a slave master. Now, why are white folk involved in black people matters and antifa and all this stuff? Why? Why are these people who are going to vote for Biden, including the elderly is definitely going to vote for Biden because they can relate to an elderly dude, even though Trump is just as old as he is. But they're going to vote for Biden. You know why they're going to vote for Biden? Real talk, some of the white folk want some slaves too. They would love to have slaves. See, what's going to happen is you're going to become a third-class citizen. Only because if Biden opens up the border, I told y'all this a long time ago, you're not going to work for $5 an hour. You're not going to work for $3 an hour. You're not going to work for $10 an hour. But the people come across the border, they will. And where they're going to put you? Right in the access card lane. Right in the, waiting for a check lane. And you're going to be third-class citizens, which is going to make you slaves. In fact, you might get to the point that some of the immigrants might own you because you can't cut the Democrats' throat. You can't cut masses' throat. You can't do it. My father told me my granddaddy owned slaves, but he didn't own slaves. He probably took some of our people out of the hands of those Caucasian Europeans who came over here and took us over and gave us Jesus and gave us a Bible and said Jesus is the boss, white Jesus. He took them out of that and put them on his situation so he can make a little money for all of them. That was my great-great-granddaddy probably did. I don't know. My daddy said his grandfather owned slaves. My mother had someone of European descent, and I in her lineage. There's a European, and he married an Indian woman. So me and my sister, we made up of multicultural people. I got pictures to prove it. So one day, you Democrats are going to cut your master's throat and free yourself. You're going to stop killing each other. You're going to stop hating on each other. Because the fact of the matter is, the demons, the Democrats, the Luciferians, the Satanists know you like hating on each other because as soon as one of y'all come up, you're ready to pull somebody down. Like some of you ain't going to like this video, and I don't care. You don't like facts. All you like to do is cuss. You like to call each other names. This young, and I got to go. This woman was walking down the street the other day, and a little young girl, she's kind of young, maybe 25, 26, something like that. And she was walking down the street, butt out, of course. I mean, wearing them tights and, titty balls all over the place. And she walking down the street, rag on her head. And she said, that's why I can't stand that bitch. You got your own women calling each other bitch, but I can't call you bitch. But I bet you let them Democrats call you bitch. See, what's going to happen to you is, it's not just you have to be favorable and vote for Trump because you hate Trump or you don't like Trump or you like Trump or whatever it is. You got to pick somebody who's doing something for you. And what black folk love to do is ignore when somebody's doing something good for them for the sake of having them have the power, like Democrats. You would rather give up your power that you have within to allow somebody else to come into your life and jack you up. That's the mentality. And Democrats know the mentality of black people. Now, my last thing I'm going to say is about last night in the Republican National Convention, and a lot of people weren't wearing masks. I will guarantee you, I am confident that the Luciferians in the Democratic Party, because there are some, the Satanists in the Democratic Party, because there are some, was down in some basement in Washington praying that someone get COVID who was among that group. They're praying that somebody got COVID because they're praying you get it. Because they want you to have that mark of the vaccination, certification of vaccination, COV, ID, ID, COVID. One day you're going to wake up And you're going to free yourself. And you're going to stop questioning whether it's Trump. Because if it wasn't Trump, it would be somebody else, and you still would be a slave. It don't matter. It don't matter. Nobody beef with Trump except Kanye when he said Bush don't like black people. And y'all was like, oh yeah. Let Kanye say something about Biden. Y'all be ready to throw him down the tube. That's how black folks are. They wishy-washy. They want to play both sides of the fence. They want to be Jesus lovers, but they want to do what they want to do. That's black folk. That's why you didn't cut Master's throat, and that's why you won't cut the Democrats' throat, and that's why I'm cool with Trump, because all Trump did was created jobs, kept us out of wars. I still got my job. He ain't looking to take it, and we doing our thing, and even if he did, it probably wouldn't be him. It'd be a Democrat trying to take my job away. It won't be Trump. Trump by making that money. I bought stocks that Trump suggested, or he just mentioned out of his mouth. I bought some stock, and I made money. What did you do? Nothing but complain. Wait for the check. Where's my check so I can buy me a big screen TV? You want free stuff ever since government cheese, ever since your mother, your grandmother. Some of you don't have mothers or fathers you live with. You live in single parent households. You out in the street acting wild. The young kids out there acting buck wild, and the parents can't even control them. They friends to the kids. I'm just gonna be my friend's kid. They're gonna be on Facebook all together shaking their butts, man. It's crazy. You still a slave. Wake up. Stop being a slave. Cut Master's throat. Cut Master's throat. That means cut your ties with the Democratic Party. And you ain't got to vote for Trump. You can vote independent. There's other means of voting. But black folk, all you know is you go to the ballot box, you do Democrat all the way down the board. They're going to have 5 rapists and 5 crooks among them Democrats that you just check one box for all of them, and you don't even know. Because all you worried about is trying to get rid of Trump. You're not worried about who you voting for besides Biden, who done stole so much money from us to get to China. Son stealing money from Burisma. No, not stealing, it's in his bank account. You try to ignore that. Black folk love to ignore stuff when it kind of to their advantage. They think it's to their advantage. You're going to wake up one day. I'm going to hope you wake up one day. One day you're going to wake up. It may be too late. You may be in slavery by then. You may not have free choice. You may be still walking around with your butt out on Facebook, being vain, taking pictures of yourself, trying to do the best you can to make yourself be important where you're not. You mean nothing to the Democratic Party. Nothing. You don't mean nothing to yourself because you kill each other. And that's why you're on Facebook showing yourself, showing your body, trying to be somebody every day. And you're nobody if you're doing that. You are your own poverty. That's what you are. One day you're going to wake up. And no matter who you vote for, who you side, you're going to wake up and start thinking for yourself. Because right now you're just a slave. You will not cut Master's throat.